Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on this story. Apparently, there was a shooting in Wisconsin of another unarmed teenager. This time, his name is Tony Robinson. And just yesterday, March 9th, there was a rally in his honor. And in all the mainstream reporting I've looked at, they're connecting this to the Michael Brown, and they're trying, and it seems like they're also trying to put a friendlier face on the police with this shooting somehow, even though it's another shooting of an unarmed teen by police. But Truth Seeker, even though the headline says this won't be Ferguson, of course the truth is this is Ferguson, and I already doubt all the details of this story because just like Ferguson, 33 is the number again. And, of course, 74, another number they love, including the name of the police officer. So, the police officer, let's just start with him. The police officer blamed for this shooting, they put out his name almost right away, is Matt Kenny. Kenny with the K exception is a 33 word, but this name, Matt Kenny, the whole thing, just using Pythagorean gematria, sums to 33. Here we are again, another shooting with a coded 33 shooter. And where did it happen at? It happened in Madison, Wisconsin. Madison with Pythagorean gematria is 30. Wisconsin is one of only two states with a 44 gematria. The other one is Georgia, where we've also had a lot of reported shootings in the last year. Remember, 44 is the kill number. But if you put 30 plus 44 together, you get 74. So often we find 74 and 33 coded together. The 33rd state, Oregon, is the only state with a gematria of 74. It said Jesus was crucified at the age of 33. The word Jesus equals 74. The word cross equals 74. And there's a lot more than that, Truth Seeker. But again, these number pairings, they're just so common. The qualifying wind speed for a hurricane is 33 meters per second or 74 miles per hour. The 33rd element on the periodic table is arsenic. Atomic number 33, atomic weight 74. Arsenic with Pythagorean gematria sums to 33, like its place on the table. So this stuff's not an accident, Truth Seeker. It's the routine coding. It almost seems like a programming for us as humanity. The name of the boy is Tony Robinson. With Pythagorean gematria, this name sums to 63. He was shot on the 6th day of March. Some places that would be written 6/3. More often 3/6. But Tony is another name with 74 gematria. Another 74 connection, just like the location Madison, Wisconsin. His initials, T plus R, sum to 38, like the word death. And again, the shooter's name is 33. And they want to tell us this isn't the next Michael Brown Ferguson, but the opposite is the truth. And then check this out. The date of the protest for his name, Madison a second ago, I showed you how it was 30, but with the S exception, it sums to 39. And in history, our president Madison was obsessed with the number 39. He made 39 proposals, which became the Bill of Rights, on a date with 39 numerology. So again, Truth Seeker, these are numbers of importance. In the Old Testament, there's 39 books. Talk a lot about this number. In this case, the location of the protest matches perfectly with the date of the protest. And again, the protest looks to be based on a hoax, which is the important point to understand. These continued hoaxes for the continued division, the continued confusion. Truth Seeker, I was arrested this past weekend, and while in custody, I actually had a meaningful conversation with a police officer, and I asked him how he truly felt about arresting me given the circumstances. I was arrested for some really bogus stuff. I just did a video post on it if you want to learn about it. But the way he responded to me is he said, you know, I'll be retiring at the end of this month after 20 years of service, And I'll put it this way, I'm not going to miss a thing about this job, is how he put it to me. And, you know, that tells me a lot. That reminds me of all the school teachers that I worked with when I was in that field. It's just they're burnt out, they know the system's a joke, yet they continue to do it because it's the means to their life. They need the money, they need the career to function. You know, we live in a big money system. It's money, money, money. And the difference between me and the police officer who arrested me is that every job I've worked where I realized that job didn't exactly have good intentions, I've quit those jobs. I've realized, okay, I'm not really doing anything good. That's not something I want to do with my life. And I really do wish more people had my attitude, because if everyone would stop doing the jobs that they know are not good, are a burden to society, are really an injustice, etc., if everyone stopped doing that and followed their hearts instead of their pocketbook, we could really change this world overnight. But that takes bravery and courage. You know? Motivation, support. So we got to keep working for truth and justice and getting this message out there, and then maybe people like the officer who arrested me will start making bolder decisions in their life. But anyway, let's close out by watching this mainstream media coverage on the shooting of Tony Robinson.
Charged protesters unloading anger and frustration at police officers guarding this Madison, Wisconsin house turned crime scene.
Innocent black children.
This is where unarmed 19-year-old Tony Terrell Robinson was shot and killed by police Friday. No one is allowed inside, except for Kathleen Buffton. She lives a thin wall away from where the gunshots rang out.
Right here on this wall of the kitchen.
Buffton says she was in the kitchen when she heard a scuffle next door. Then pounding on the door, she says.
Was that the police?
Yeah, and he forced the door open.
What she didn't know, according to police, is that there were multiple calls into dispatch regarding Robinson, including an alleged battery incident.
I look for a male black, light-skinned, tan-jacketed teens outside yelling and jumping in front of cars.
Police say Officer Matt Kenny responded, heard a commotion inside the home, and forced his...
Matt Kenny, again, Truth Seeker, another 33. Just like Darren, as in Darren Wilson, the Michael Brown shooter.
...way in, and then gunfire.
You could really hear it. I mean, right here, nothing went through.
Police say Robinson attacked Kenny, provoking the officer to use deadly force. But Buffton has her doubts.
I wonder if it was a white person, if they wouldn't have got shot. They'd have got tased.
Her thoughts echoed by Robinson's family.
And I think the cops shot him because he was afraid of him.
This is not the first time the 45-year-old officer used deadly force. Officer Kenny was exonerated for an incident that took place 8 years ago. The police chief says he's working to regain public trust.
We need to start, as any healing or reconciliation would, with an I'm sorry.
But hundreds gathered throughout the weekend, demanding more than apologies. And Officer Kenny, 45 years old, a 12-year veteran of that department, and he's on paid administrative leave.
So there it was, Truth Seeker. The story of Tony Robinson and Matt Kenny, and they had the one witness make the point that if he was a white teen, he probably wouldn't have been shot. And, you know, it's not that I disagree with that statement. I know that blacks are targeted by the police, unfortunately, in this society. Minorities in general. But, you know, bad things happen to white people too. And the officer who arrested me, coincidentally, was black this weekend. I'm white. So, you know, it goes both ways. And we need justice for all people, not just of a certain race. We just need justice for everyone. We need a better world for everyone. And part of getting to that better world is exposing these daily lies that are meant to divide and frustrate us and, you know, make us throw up the towel like so many people have done. So, whoops, we're on the wrong post there. Anyway, that's the message, Truth Seeker. Until next time.